Who's it from?
It doesn't say.
You found him.
Chucky's my friend till the end. Hey, wanna play? Can't we sleep in with you tonight?
It's only a storm. Good night, baby. Sweet dreams.
Don't forget Chucky.
It's a doll. What's the worst that can happen, huh?
It's time to play.
Okay, so we're going to talk about Canadian-made, shot in Winnipeg, Curse of Chucky.
Mm-hmm.
And as my opening salvo, I will say welcome to the best of the 7 Child's Play movies.
It doesn't shock me, actually.
Marley's got to stop whimpering. It's like he waited until we pressed record. Did you see that?
Yep.
I mean, I know I've been a bitch this whole episode about it, but like we stopped and we ate and he made not a fucking sound. And the second I press record, he's being a little bitch again.
Tell me how you really feel, Larry.
It's just frustrating. Anyway, I really like Curse of Chucky. I genuinely was surprised when I watched it. Like, I didn't run to it. I waited till it was in the cheap bin at Walmart. And okay, it's time for a new Chucky. And once again, Mancini very correctly intuited that they needed to change things up.
Yep.
After Seed of Chucky, it was like, okay, we're not going to play in that arena anymore. I think that in 2 movies we've officially played it out. It took 3 to get rid of the Chucky slasher movie formula. It took 2 the Chucky comedy formula.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're going to go, it's the early aughts, to this sort of hard, the dark remakes, the torture porn, the like sinister, heavy, dark, scary movies.
Mm-hmm.
And for the first time in a long time, arguably ever, Chucky is genuinely frightening in this movie to me.
He's a real threat, yeah.
And one of the biggest reasons, and again, I'm sorry, Brad Dourif, I do respect you, is that he says almost nothing for like the first hour of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's stalking, he's crawling about, he's manipulating a little girl, he's putting poison in soup.
I love that scene.
He's doing all of these terrible, terrible things.
Mm-hmm.
No winking, no cackling, no frills, really.
Mm-hmm. Well, Don Mancini, who's been since the beginning of this franchise, knows what makes Chucky terrifying and a real valid threat. He works when he's in stealth, when he's in the shadows.
Yeah.
And he's a lot more mind manipulative.
Sorry. Ding. He's a lot more mind manipulative.
In this and also the next movie. He has a master plan, if you will, that sort of unfolds as the movie goes along. And yes, the less we see Chucky, the more terrifying he becomes. And when we do see him, there's a real palpable fear. Like you're afraid of him.
Yeah. The redesign has happened again. They've rebuilt Chucky, but in this case, instead of going sinister or instead of going, the sheer plastic, they went both, which is the right call, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You believe it as a kid's toy, and you believe it as a scary thing when they need it to.
Mm-hmm.
One of the better sort of shocking moments for me, because I didn't understand what was happening when I was first watching the scene. There's a scene where one of the sisters is up looking at the Chucky doll, and she's starting to ask questions, and she brings her finger up to the doll and starts like peeling this outer layer off of the doll, and we start seeing the underneath the perfect doll face that he's not. There is something really evil underneath it, and that was a cool scene. There was also that great scene where she's reaching out towards the doll and it suddenly just went to bite her hand, and that made me jump. I jumped, and like I so infrequently do I jump in a Child's Play movie.
That dinner scene where you know that he has poisoned one of the, like, was it soup?
Some kind of tomato soup or something. But
Yeah.
we see Chucky's little doll
How
hand.
that scene unfolds, like, that is great filmmaking.
Yeah.
You know, I was saying this earlier to you. If this wasn't even part of the Chucky franchise and was like a separate horror film, I would be excited to see what this next filmmaker, what his or her next project would be.
And the level of improvement in his directing, I think, from Seed of Chucky to this one, it almost seems like a different director. Like, obviously they're very different in their tone and in their approach, and that's a big part of it, but the attention paid to atmosphere is really strong.
Yeah.
And
Love that Rebecca, not even tip of the hat, like just stealing from, once again, Alfred Hitchcock with the whole elevator. And
if you're gonna steal from the best.
Yes. Yeah.
Fiona Dourif
Yes.
is the lead of this movie.
Yes.
And I do think that the reason she's starring in this movie is that her daddy is Brad Dourif and played Chucky.
Possibly.
I'm sure that there are people that would yell at me that that's not the case. Maybe even Brad and Fiona themselves. But I don't think it's coincidental. But here's why I let it go. Usually I roll my eyes at nepotism. Shame on you, Francis Ford Coppola, for casting your daughter in Godfather 3. Shame on you, Dario Argento, for sexually exploiting your daughter in your own movies. In this case, she's not being exploited, and she's a decent actress. So, yeah, it probably got her the job that her dad played Chucky, but at least she brings the goods.
And it pays off more with the next movie than it does this movie. But
Yeah.
I think she's very strong in this movie.
I think she's good too. I think but if she was like bad, or if she was like even just adequate, then people would be screaming, you know, nepotism.
Yeah.
This was nepotism, but it happened to work out in this case. She is talented, so is her dad, and that's fine. I mean, I'm really not trying to talk shit about her.
Yeah.
I'm just saying she probably wouldn't have got the part if not for the fact that her dad was Chucky, but it's kind of good that she got the part.
Okay.
Because of the way they're going to use her character, like you say, in subsequent movies as well.
Yeah.
But because she also seems to, you know, have a good handle on how to, you know, convince us of her emotions in a given scene.
Yeah.
And this is an anguished character. She's in a wheelchair. Her mother has been killed. Her sister shows up and is instantly trying to basically kick her out of her house. And she's just repeatedly getting beat down by life and feeling helpless and like half person because she's been in this wheelchair. And we later find that the reason she's in the wheelchair is Charles Lee. She was stabbed in the womb.
Yeah.
By Charles Leroy.
One of the twists of this movie is exceptionally dark, but also well earned.
Yeah. Well, and that's just the thing. This movie is dark.
Yeah.
In the way that Seed of Chucky was silly, this movie is dark.
Yeah.
And it almost, it's not even really in the same universe. They're going to try and squeeze this all into the same universe by the end titles of this movie. But this movie is so much better and so much scarier and so much, it's just better made and better executed in every way than Seed of Chucky that like I almost don't reconcile them. It feels like a reboot, but it's a sequel. And if it was a reboot, it was a really good reboot. And if it's a sequel, like I've already said, I think it's the best of the 7 movies so far.
Yeah, no, I'm actually not disagreeing with you. It is exceptionally well-made thriller filmmaking.
Yeah.
Even like we know it's coming, but there are cameras placed throughout the house. I think on one of the dolls.
No, and Chucky himself, he puts a nanny cam in Chucky.
Yeah, and there's one shot that, like I said, we know it's coming, but it's on a one character, and we see Chucky walking in the background, and it's generally kind of creepy.
They have you looking in the corners for Chucky everywhere. It's a maybe over-designed house as far as it feels more like a place to shoot a horror movie than anyone would actually live in.
Yeah, it's very gothic in that.
But again, I let that go, and that's very much the aesthetic of those early remakes. Look at the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Friday the 13th and how affected the design is.
Yeah.
Those don't feel like real places. They feel like horror movie sets almost. You know what I mean? And this movie maybe has a little bit of that, but I'm into the story and the characters enough that I'm not bothered by it.
Yeah.
And the kills are stealthy and mean and believable for a doll to execute.
Yeah.
There's a scene where this woman is on her laptop in her underwear, and even though there's a kid sleeping in the adjacent bed for whatever reason, And we've established when they first showed that room that in the center of it there's a bucket with this water dripping. And whether we recognize it or not, we're being prepared for this murder scene.
Yeah.
So she's typing away, being all sexy on the computer, and then her head just slowly turns, and she sees there's Chucky standing, and he's alive. And all he does is kick over that bucket of water. Mm-hmm. And she's instantly electrocuted.
Yeah.
And it's loud music. Oh my god. See, something's working against our podcast today. But there's something about that kill, like it's not too over the top. Her face gets a little fucked up from being electrocuted, but in another Child's Play movie, he would have said, "Shocking, eh, babe?"
Yeah.
or like there would have been something to take the oomph out of the impact of the moment.
Yeah.
And in this movie, when characters die, you kind of feel it. Even if you don't like the character, you're like, that person just died, and that was awful. You know?
No. Like, you feel the deaths. Even the characters that clearly deserve it, you're like, oh. Because good due thought and care went up to the setup, the execution of the murders, even the characters involved. Like, I believed every single motivation from each character. I want to talk about, and I fast forward to the ending a little bit, because this movie also has a dark, mean-spirited ending where Chucky is successful in possessing the child, the niece of our lead protagonist, and also kills the grandmother. And even the jump scare that's done, you're like, whoa! It's this movie sticks with you.
Chucky wins, and not in a way like, yay, Chucky wins to have further adventures. It's like, that's a bad dude, and he's still out there.
Yeah.
In that scene, he has a Chucky one-liner that is just perfect. You know? She says, "Where's Grandma?" He says, "She's in the basement." "What's she doing in the basement?" Nothing.
Yeah.
Right? And, he's not cackling. He's not, he like, that was a zinger for us, for him, that was little insider stuff, right? That's like dark and funny, but it doesn't cheapen anything that's taken place, I believe that that's something that Charles Lee Ray would say to amuse himself, whereas in other movies, he's saying it to amuse this audience that doesn't exist. In this case, I would believe him saying that to the kid and thinking to himself, "Oh, I'm a bastard." Right? Yeah. And that works. That works. The care and love put into this movie is just like, again, there was a good gap between Chucky movies, and maybe Mancini is smart and he waits until he's generally kind of ready to do another Chucky movie, Yeah. And I'm a believer. I'm a believer in this dude as a director. I actually would be interested to see him do some non-Chucky work just on the strength of this movie alone. Mm-hmm. And we had said in Seed of Chucky, he was sort of using his knowledge of old Hollywood and classic thrillers to sort of spend so much time paying homage and saying, "Look at this is my De Palma shot. This is my Hitchcock setup." Mm-hmm. This movie doesn't feel like this is my De Palma shot. This is my Hitchcock setup. This is like, I've watched De Palma, I've watched Hitchcock, and this is what I've learned. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's a subtle difference, but it is there. I think that to make that big a leap from Seed to Curse, bravo. Yeah. Like, seriously, overhand high five to Dan Mancini for this movie. Yeah. Well fucking done. Yeah. Chucky is scary again.
Which is kind of a minor miracle considering this is the 6th entry in the series. Right? Yeah. Because Halloween never really gets that back. Even Friday the 13th, any real sort of terror or threat to their antagonists never really comes back, where Cult. Yeah. Cult delivers that. I'll say it once, I'll say it again, and even this review, if this was not a Chucky movie and it was just a sort of killer doll movie, I would be curious to see what this filmmaker does next.
Yeah. And like, if it was somebody, I would almost have believed if someone said, "Oh, there was, I don't know, someone was hired to do this remake," and it wasn't Mancini, but Mancini did it, and fucking good for him, man. Yeah. Good for him.
Kudos.
Thank you for bringing Chucky back and being scary. Mm-hmm. And he played within the rules of the universe. Mm-hmm. He dialed down the stupid, but didn't, take it completely out of it. If I have like a little thing that for me I just wish wasn't there, and again I'm sounding like an asshole, Jennifer Tilly. She shows
She's
up.
ever so...
It's very brief.
Yeah.
She delivers the doll to the place. Basically, Chucky is doing payback on anybody in his past that he's got issues with. So she sends the doll to the next address.
Yeah.
That's where the movie sort of starts.
Well,
and
they
stops.
like working together. So.
They do, and they revisit that neck slit thing, and where she cuts a guy's throat and then says a cheesy one-liner and licks the blade. Jennifer Tilly is still in Seed of Chucky. Mm-hmm. Jennifer Tilly is still in Bride of Chucky. Mm-hmm. Everybody else is in Curse of Chucky. And the good news is she's in the movie for literally 2 minutes. Like, it's very, very brief that we see her. Mm-hmm. But that's the one thing that kind of warps the world a little bit for me. Okay. I think that because they probably really get along with Jennifer and, they've been working together for years, they wanted to include her, and I get that. But I think that this is an instinct, and we're going to see this again and again, that might be a little bit of a mistake. Like, the loyalty to their brand is almost default. Like, Andy shows up in a post-credit scene in this
Stinger,
movie.
I think it's called.
Yes. And he's fully grown. And the doll package has been delivered to his house. And to the movie's credit, I thought it was going to be one of those things where Chucky's about to kill Andy and we cut to dark. And that's not what they do. Chucky's about to kill Andy, and Andy turns around and he saw this shit coming, and he's got a shotgun. And they've gone back to the original actor who played the original Andy in the first 2 movies. And he's fine. He's not a bad actor. But again, he wouldn't be here unless he was the kid from the original Child's Play movies. Yeah. And maybe it was a smart move not to use the kid from Child's Play 3. But they didn't have to use him. It's like they liked him, so they used him, right? Joe Dante's guilty of this, casting people he likes over people who are maybe right for the part.
Fair enough. People associate Alex Vincent with the series, and I mentioned it earlier. I'll say it again. He's the heart and soul of the franchise. Fans of the series will instantly reconnect and go, "Yay!"
It's what he's got. But if Andy was played by a different actor, would the fans have loudly balked?
I think so. Yes.
I disagree. The last time Andy played that role, he was 8 years old. Mm-hmm. And Andy now has got to be cutting 40.
If you bring Andy back, though, like that's a mistake they learned, I think, with Child's Play 3. Yeah.
But there's a difference between like a child actor, right?
Yeah.
Like a recognizable actor. When you're 8, you're so different than who you were when you were 40 that you're practically unrecognizable. They didn't have to cast that actor, but they did because they liked him.
It works for me.
It works enough, and it's fan service.
It's the same thing that they did.
Should that have been a post-credit scene, though?
Who knows about that? The order in which it's delivered. It is sort of separate from the story. It is how Chucky essentially dies in the movie, I guess.
But it's necessary setup for Cult. Yeah, because we open basically with Andy and Cult, and we're supposed to have some understanding that he's a player again, right? Yeah. I don't know. I think that the reason they did it as a post-credit was because they wanted to keep that ending sinister. The last shot before credits roll, Chucky's reading the incantation to that little girl and going to take over her body, right? Yeah. And roll credits. And then that stinger ending. I think it's there because they couldn't figure out where else to put it.
Maybe.
I don't know where you would put it, but I don't know. Like, it's almost buried there.
I think of the Halloween franchise when they had Daniel Harris for 4 and 5, and then when they finally made 6, they recast it, and no one felt anything when that character's death happened. So bringing Alex Vincent back,
but again, that was more a betrayal of the character than the actress, because at that point,
people still identify Andy with Alex Vincent.
Yeah, but going to your
fans of it,
going to your Halloween example though, this movie was made 3 years later, so Daniel Harris would have been 14. Playing a woman who was, in her late teens, early 20s, giving birth to a baby and then killed by Michael Myers.
I think it's even longer than that, but okay.
There's no way. That casting would have been inappropriate in that case. In this case, they didn't have to. They chose to. And maybe that's fan service. Maybe it isn't. Maybe they just liked Andy, like that actor and wanted to work with him again. Yeah. But that's why he's there. Yeah. Not necessarily because he's the right guy for the part or the best actor for the part, but because when he was a kid, he was cast as Andy.
Fair enough.
Right?
Fair enough.
Anyway, we're 20 minutes into Curse of Chucky, and I think we've made our points.
Yeah.
It's a very strong horror movie.
Yeah.
Maybe the most strong horror movie of this list, and maybe the only truly one that actually caused me some fear.
All right.
So, big fan of Curse of Chucky.